A cringeworthy ad titled Men for Kamala, made by a group of left-wing creatives called Vote Save America, has left Sky News hosts in hysterics.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
And I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
Man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Sky News hosts James Morrow, Rita Panahi and Rowan Dean were left stunned after playing the ad, claiming it exposes the crisis of masculinity in a nutshell.
Ladies and gentlemen, right there, the crisis in masculinity in a nutshell.
Yeah, right there.
Right there, the
the
whole
end
thing.
of the election, Donald Trump's won in a
I
landslide.
tell you what, guys,
Take it
though,
from
this
me.
was
There you
like,
go.
this ad, those 90 seconds were like one of those awful white dudes for Harris Zoom calls come to life. Look, every single thing about everything about this ad was wrong. From the guy who was talking about eating carburetors for breakfast, and by the way, a car has not been sold in the U.S. with a carburetor since 1994, to the entire premise that men are afraid to vote for a woman. That is nonsense. Look, let me clue any Democrats watching what this is all about. Guys are not afraid to vote for a woman. They just don't want to vote for an airhead. And even more than that, they don't want to vote for a Democrat Party that seems to think that masculinity and the stuff men like to do is toxic every day of the year, except Election Day.
The creator of the ad, writer Jacob Reed, wanted the ad to redefine masculinity, saying, "I think we're overdue for a redefinition of what it means to be a man in America, and I hope this campaign can start to shape that conversation." But it seems the concept has backfired, with social media commentators unleashing on the cringeworthy ad. A Kamala Harris ad is making the rounds on social media. It's the most absurd piece of rubbish imaginable. It's so bad. It's more believable as a parody than reality. And this commentator agreed, saying Kamala's camp has become increasingly concerned about evaporating male support, not just from black men, but men in general. The cringe ad has come at the worst possible time for the Harris campaign, as sections of the mainstream media are turning their backs on Kamala Harris, like SNL, which released this hilarious skit mocking the VP.
Okay, 100 people surveyed, top 6 answers on the board. Name something that you keep in your glove compartment. Oh, VP Harris.
Steve, look, I was raised in a middle-class family, all right?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, my mother raised my sister and me, all right?
Yeah.
She worked hard and saved up.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And we had a second mother, too.
Okay. Did that mother have a glove compartment?
A small business owner named Miss Shelton.
Okay, we got that. Something that you keep in your glove compartment.
Oh, a Glock, Steve, a big old Glock.
Oh, snap. Okay, so you strapped like that, all right. Show me the blip, blam, blicky. All right.